So my newest one is the Rebel Phoenix. And after my first book, I had a lot of people say, I never felt heard, and it wasn't, okay, like, what do you mean by that? Like, well, I try to explain how I became an addict or why I became, or, this and this and this. And people just don't understand. Mm-hmm. Or, you get the people that are like, why can't you just stop? That is huge. Well, because, like, in our brains, I wish I could have stopped. I wish I didn't have to do 20 years of opiate abuse. I would have stopped 20 years ago. Yeah. And it's that trigger in the brain. But after my first book, it was, I got to a year sober off of everything. I had multiple people ask me, they're like, how did you do it? And I was like, hard work, determination, but they're like, well, yeah, but like, what steps did you go through? I sat there and I was like, this would be a great book. So kind of like a sponsor in your pocket, it'll ask you those deep questions that, will help you kind of get outside yourself. Mm-hmm. And so the first 90 days, it's something every day. It is at the beginning of each week, it's a little self-help chapter. And then there are daily challenges and journaling prompts and recovery tools. It'll help you ride out those cravings and, ask you, like, what's the difference between guilt and shame? You're like, shame is what keeps you sick, and guilt is the feeling you're having in that moment. And so from 90 days to 6 months, it goes down to just twice a week. And they get a little bit deeper. And then from 6 months to a year, it's once a week, one chapter, one journaling prompt, one challenge, one recovery tool. But it is meant to make you really think, what is keeping me here? Mm-hmm. What else do I need to process? There's parts in that book that you're at 6 months, you write a letter to day one self. Like, what have I learned in these last 6 months? And then, a couple days later, it's, what do I want to go from year one? How do I envision myself in the next 6 months succeeding? It's a little bit of something every day, but it helps you heal the inside. I've found is the biggest problem is that something happened. There's a reason why we became addicts. And sometimes we don't always know that right away, like what had happened, what trauma I had gone through, what triggered that genetic predisposition for addiction or, to become an alcoholic. It doesn't normally just become. There's a reason. My book allows you to kind of gradually step up to finding the reason why and then letting go of it. The name it's the Rebel Phoenix, from ashes to ascension. So, you're rebuilding your life.
Love that.
And you have to. Like, I had to give up. I had to blow up my entire old life and rebuild from ground one. And, that can be scary for people. But it is extremely rewarding.